if you're in their HR department at Twitter, what in the heck do you do with this? Is it okay that he's saying this?
Yeah. What he meant to do is within any other policy guidelines.
Right.
You need to have that in place. Hi, I'm Miracle Simeon, the COO of Vogue Professional Services.
And I am Hope Malvo, CEO of Vogue Professional Services. So today we're going to kick off our series of what's happening in the world. Mm-hmm. And we're going to talk about Elon Musk and the Twitter employees. So the idea of this is just to have an open conversation. So we definitely want you to comment below as we're having this conversation. We love to hear your thoughts on it. So for those who aren't caught up on this situation, I'm going to read what's going on. So Elon Musk has reportedly warned employees at Twitter that the company will sue those who leak confidential information to the press. The owner said in an email that the company will seek damages for those who violate their non-disclosure agreement. He also goes on to say that he understands that there will be occasional slip-ups, but anybody who is intentionally violating their NDA, which is a non-disclosure agreement, that he's going to file suit. So I guess the question is, if you're in their HR department at Twitter, what in the heck do you do with this? Is it okay that he's saying this?
So for me, I see what you meant, but the delivery didn't have to be that dry. And essentially, you're already doing this in any company that has policies and procedures. And if you break those policies and procedures, sometimes it says up to include or up to termination. So I look at your NDA just like any other policy. Why couldn't we take the approach of educating our employees on how you do things? Even if it was a social media policy, if it was a safety policy, this is what happens. And then everything, including but up to, exiting the company. Yeah. So I just feel like the delivery was really harsh. And it goes back to us talking about employee branding and avoiding the representation of the company. This screams media attention, negativity, a soundbite of the email, because anybody can take an email out of context. But if you probably would have sat down and say, okay, we always talk about at VPS, the assumptions activities. And so taking the time to think about what could happen if we do this. And all the scenarios, okay, somebody gives it to the press and violates the NDA. Your top talent leaves, all of the situations that could happen. And I'm sure somebody would have said, okay, what if this is leaked? How is this viewed
going to look
in the public when we already have an eye on us? Everybody's looking at us. So I just think it could have been handled differently.
Yeah, I agree. I think it could have been handled differently. I mean, you definitely want to be careful of threatening your employees. That's probably not starting off on the right foot. But I also think in the same light that there is a violation that's taking place. So it's almost like he's not wrong. He's not wrong, but he's not right for his delivery. It goes back to what you just said is communicating. And so for HR, I think it is important to have confidentiality agreements, and it's certainly important to have those NDAs in place to protect the company's secrets and really just to overall protect the company. But when those things are in violation, we have to be really careful on how we communicate. And to your point, to talk about how do we communicate in situations like this, there should already be a procedure. There should already be standard communication. And I also think for something like this screams training. Yeah. Because sometimes employees just don't know. In other words, you're being approached by the media what do you do as an employee? You're thinking this is public to the company. Everyone in the company knows this. So am I wrong if I share this? And if there's no media training about what needs to be kind of held in-house, even though they've signed the non-disclosure, just to support that with training would have probably been a better response to what was happening. Of course, say, hey, let's huddle together. Let's talk about what has happened. But the threatening to sue, it automatically is what it is. Like, you violated it. Your policy should support that, hey, you can be sued for this. That should be in the handbook. That should be somewhere that an employee can access and see. So yeah, I just think he didn't handle it right. However, I do think in order for a company to keep trade secrets, and to keep certain things, that within the company, you do need these types of agreements. So we are on the same page.
Yeah, the intent is right. Yeah. What he meant to do is within any other policy guidelines.
Right.
You need to have that in place. Just like you said, a confidentiality, but I love how you said the training, like, how do you respond? That could have been the focus. Let's get a town hall together. Let me give you some examples. Our PR is going to come in and train you on what to say. And then you revert everything to this, trained individual. That's all you have to do.
Right. Because depending on who you are, and you're the CEO of a company and you're Elon Musk, well, you're going to get, a lot of media anyway. That's going to be broaching your employees. So almost like, wasn't that a given? Wasn't that a thought? Did we not think about that when he became CEO? Were we not like, oh, snap, employees need media training. And we also need to tell them where to send these types of requests. And then, this would also be a good time to do training on things we don't want to get out in the media. So it's just one of those things that hindsight is 2020. We would love to hear what you all think below. Comment below. Like, do you think Elon Musk was wrong? Do you think his approach was just fine? Do you think we're wrong?
I know, right? I don't agree with none of them.
I don't agree with anything you said. So we're this is a new series that we're going to be kicking off. If you have anything that you want us to talk about on the what's happening in the world segment, please let us know. If you like what you've heard, even if you don't like what you've heard, go ahead and click like and subscribe to support our channel. Until next time, Bo Pros. Talk to you soon. Bye.